All right, welcome back to Daybreak. Many thanks indeed for staying with us. And we are live from Toy Market, Kibera in Nairobi County. Of course, reflecting on what happened here yesterday, that fire that started at about 3 a.m., went through pretty much most of the early morning. And by the time it was all done, traders, all they can do is count their losses here. And if you just look at the expanse of this area that has been brought down by the fire, you can clearly see that many people here have questions more than answers in terms of what happened here and how they'll pick up the pieces and move on. Thank you to everyone who's talking to us. 22422 being our SMS line and using the hashtag Daybreak on social media. Keep talking to us. Let me read two SMSs. This is Sir Nixon Dugire from Kinderuma says, the biggest challenge is how to get to the root cause of market fires, especially on lands that are being eyed by developers, and I'll get a reaction from my panel. But secondly, someone here has a question which I want to ask directly to the chairman. Bwana Wahiga, I am watching from Kegogi in Kisii. Now, how is the blame being directed to firefighters? Can you confirm whether the access to the area is enough for firefighter vehicles to enter? Bwana Chairman.
Yes.
Bwana umeacha jina hapa? Oh, they have not given us their name, but anauliza hiyo swali.
Yeah, access kwa soko.
Yes.
Kuna barabara moja.
Can you use the mic?
Kuna barabara moja ambayo ni access kwa soko. Ingine imekuwa blocked na traders pande moja. Na mimi ningependa kusema kwa saa hii ile njia ambayo imeblokiwa kuanzia kesho tunaenda kufungua kama soko ili tupata janga moto ama anything that can happen in the market.
Okay.
Tunaweza kuwa able kupita, gani inaweza kuwa able kuingia na pande nyingine. So kuna njia mbili ambayo inaweza ingiza magari, but moja imefungwa na vibanda. So hiyo moja ambayo imefungwa na vibanda lazima tutaifunga kama soko ikuwe open kwa magari ambayo inaweza ingia ama mizigo ambayo zinaweza ingia ndani ya soko.
Okay.
So hiyo ndio challenge tuko nayo.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let me bring in Faith now and just get some thoughts from her. How do factors, Faith, like national debt, how do taxes weigh down on small scale traders like the ones we have here?
I'll begin with taxes and say if we increase the taxes, and this is something that has happened. We've talked about the presumptive tax. We saw the government raise taxes on a number of items last year. So if taxes are increased, what happens is that the Kenyans will not have enough money to spend because it reduces the amount of money you have in your pocket that is left for you to spend. And what happens that it also reduces the amount of money that gets to the traders, which means that the amount of money in circulation for people to spend has been reduced, which is likely to reduce the revenue that is accessed by small traders. If you look at government debt, if the effect would be if there is an increase in government debt, then it means that there will also be an increase in the amount of money that is spent by the government to either pay the interest or the principal for this debt. And consequently, the amount of money that the government is left with to either grow the economy, to spend on infrastructure development that would help small-scale traders is reduced, which means that then the growth in that sector will also be reduced. Yeah.
Okay. Sam, let me find out this from you in terms of your members.
Yes.
What has been the effect of devolution on small-scale traders, bearing in mind they are now dealing with two near separate entities, the national government and county governments as well? What's been the impact of that?
Wahiga, allow me to answer your question and first go back to what Faith has said.
Go ahead.
The government cannot be able to grow its economy through taxation. It has to help the small medium entrepreneurs access even to loans, access to growth, access to businesses, access to opportunities that are there that the government has. And coming to your question, devolution has not been a blessing to us.
It has not been a blessing.
It has not been a blessing to us because there are so many taxes which the small medium entrepreneurs are supposed to pay. When you come to the county government has put its own structures and systems that the small medium entrepreneurs have to pay. And you remember we have to pay for the licenses and as the chairman is saying here, they have to pay for the cess. And one of the things which I really ask, the county government, also the central government, what is that cess for? Because it's not structured. We have about 2,000 entrepreneurs in Toy Market, as the chairman is saying. When you do a quick math, being charged 100 shillings every week is about 9.6 million shillings per annum, 9.6 million shillings per annum. When you do that math, the government can be able even to get more funds from the entrepreneurs if they can be able to have their own structured way or of doing that, because an entrepreneur basically does not mind paying 50 shillings and getting the services that they're supposed to get. Not only collection of garbage, but also even having good structures and structures, because when a fire like this happens in toy market, it's not supposed to have these kind of devastating scenarios. We are supposed to have access routes even to the firefighters. They are supposed to be structured very well. Even sometimes the government has access even to fireproof materials to build structures for the entrepreneurs. So when you look at the central government and when you look at the county government, devolution has not been a blessing to us. It has brought a lot of confusion even in the taxation, and that's why we are calling for the government to have a roundtable with the stakeholders and a very candid talk on the structures on how taxation is supposed to be done, because they can access even to more money from us than what they are getting in return, a good working environment.
Who do you think is the bigger challenge, the national government or the county government?
Let me say the national government, because the national government oversees the county government, basically. And the county, when you talk about devolution, the
county... Juma is really nodding as you say that. He agrees with you.
Because actually the counties, what they are doing, they are trying to get their footing in terms of taxation. They are trying to get their footing, because the central government has been responsible for the collection of taxes from the small medium entrepreneurs and all the business people, even the corporate. And so there has to be a very candid talk with people like Akinafin and the rest, so that we sit down with experts and sit down as entrepreneurs, and you are going to come up with systems whereby the government, from the county government, can access to more money from us in return to get a good working environment, and we are willing to pay.
So you make it sound like a win-win situation.
It is
it that simple?
No. It's very simple, actually. Let me tell you, the solutions are there. It's only that the government sometimes they think they have the solutions, but they don't. You can't have a boardroom. You can't have a boardroom declaration, and you don't have the scenario of the people here. That lady who was sitting there, she has more. She can be able. She knows more of her business than the person who is making policies in the boardroom, and that's why that lady must be brought into the boardroom through representatives like the chairman plus other people, and they listen to them so that they can make informed decisions.
Okay, let me do another SMS here. Thank you for everyone who's SMSing us. 22422 is the SMS line, and use the hashtag Daybreak on social media. And what's on social media? Trevor and Zinzi, I believe, will be reading that shortly. Mary Kakenya from Narok says, my opinion, the government should come up with a collective system of insurance for small business people in a market, so that in case of a loss, they get compensated. Bwana Chairman, sijui kama umesikia hiyo swali, wacha nikuulize, have there been any proposals for insurance that have been brought to your members before, or is it something you would consider should that happen?
I think you to consider baadaye, because right now hakuna insurance tuko nayo in place.
Hakuna insurance
tuko nayo in place. Hata wakati tumechemekewa ni ile tu mtu uone kuna nini ambayo inaweza rudisha biashara yako. But kama una kitu, basi itakuwa shida sana. Ndio tuna appeal kwa well wishers wakuja wasaidia watu wetu.
Kwa sasa hakuna insurance
in place. Hakuna insurance, yes.
Na kama mtu na hii proposal unaona kama does it make sense? You said later?
Yeah, later it makes sense. Ati tuweka watu on board. Tulete watu ambao watakuja in ground kuambia watu hii policy tutawasaidia kwa njia gani. Lazima waelimishwe kwanza, wajue maana hiyo kitu. Wakishaelimishwa, then they'll pick up from there. Yes.
Faith, what's your reaction to that SMS?
I think it makes sense to have insurance, because we see every year there's a fire that happens in a given market, be it Kibera, be it Toy, and if the government actually does something about it, should be beginning by insuring the...
But is it only the government that can do this? Because I get the feeling that if you leave the government to do everything, they will not.
In this situation, the way I'm looking at it, the private sector would be very helpful in structuring the products that would be taken up by SMEs. But at the same time, it would be important for the government to push that agenda. So I don't think it can be done solely by the government or solely by the private sector. So it's both parties coming together and pushing the agenda to ensure the SMEs, and especially the traders in such markets. Yeah.
Sorry, and you want to respond to that? Go ahead, then I can ask you my next question.
Let me respond to that. We had actually a meeting in town with Du Bois traders, and we were talking about insurance. And one of the things that we are willing to do, AHIGA, as an association, is to bring everybody on board, the small medium entrepreneurs, because we really don't have a structured way of, even the government, when they want to come to help us, we don't have a structured way that the government can be able to come in and help us. And that's why we came in to bridge that gap, so that once we have that body, or that we have that association, now we can be able to negotiate with the insurance companies. Because ideally, I agree with Faith, but partially disagree. Because if we leave the government we believe the government to insure us or to help us structure ourselves, they can't be able to do that. And that's why we decided, let's come up with solutions as entrepreneurs. Even to the government, let's come to the table and tell the government, we have these solutions, these are our problems, but we have the solutions, and we want you to come on board and help us with these solutions. And so we have structured ourselves as entrepreneurs, and now collectively now we can be able now to approach insurance companies for better deals, for our entrepreneurs at very minimum fees, even at 50 shillings per year, because we are so many. We are about 14 million entrepreneurs in Kenya.
14 million entrepreneurs
in Kenya. So you can imagine, it's a huge market that even the insurance companies have not been able to tap into.
Why have they not been able to? I mean, I'm sure they are watching this program. Why?
Yes.
Why do you think?
It's because for a very long time,
for a very long of the economy.
Okay, so for a very long time, let me have an introspective look at us. For a very long time, we have not been structured. And I remember one time we had a sitting with the president, and he said, "How do you want us to help you if you're not structured?" Because we have different bodies of entrepreneurs, like the manufacturing body and the rest, and they have structured themselves, and that's why we came up with this association, so that now the government can be able to engage us from a structured way, from a governance structured way. And we have done it ourselves now. We are structured, and now we can be able now to engage with the government. Now, way forward is that because we are structured now, we can now be able to bring solutions on the table, because we didn't go to this sector, as micro entrepreneurs, because we didn't go to school. We actually went there because all of us cannot have white collar jobs. So we are down there, and we are there, and we are meeting the needs of this country through paying of taxation, and also the needs, and also creating a very good economic ecosystem in this country. And so we are there, we are sitting with the government, and we would like the government to come on board and listen to us very well, because we have proposals. We have sat down with even so many leaders, even from parliament, even with the Senator of Nairobi. We have very good proposals. Let them push these proposals, and these scenarios are going to be,
Final question to you would be what challenges do small-scale traders face from, if I can use it, foreign traders who have come into the market?
Yes.
And that has been something that's been in the headlines for quite a bit. How serious is the threat, if any?
Wahiga, let me say this, because that's my final comment. As you have said, the foreign traders are actually driving us out of our businesses, and I don't know where we are going to go, because every country has the responsibility of protecting its traders or its citizens. They have the responsibility, and
both
we have
from internal and external threats.
From internal and external threats.
Okay.
And what we have seen with the government is that the policies that they have given to some of the foreigners, and especially the Chinese, they have come and they have been able to access even doing business that our people are supposed to be doing. You are finding that some of them are even hawkers. Some of them are hawking mobile phones on the streets. Some of them have access to shops. We are selling the same commodity. They are from China. They get, their wares and their goods at ridiculous prices. When they are coming to clearing, they clear very fast. For example, our goods can stay for about 2 or 3 months without being cleared. But for them, a month, they have already cleared. And we are selling the same things. And they have slashed the prices up to 25 or 50%. So how do you expect me, as a Kenyan citizen, to be able even to pay taxation? And I'll tell you this scenario, Wahiga. If you go to places like Nyamakema, people are closing shop. Literally, they are closing shop.
Literally shutting down.
Shutting down. I remember when we were getting shops in Nyamakema, you could be told you pay a goodwill of 3 million shillings. Today, even the owners of the shops, they are telling you, can you pay just 2 months? And you enter into that shop and start trading. You can't be able to do that. Why? Because these people have been able to access to our markets, and there are policies which are not favoring us as the business community.
Okay.
And the government must be able to streamline those policies.
Okay. I was taking the last round of comments, but we do need to take a short break, so I'll take them when we come back. You're watching Daybreak. Thank you for talking to us again. Still on the site where a deadly fire just ravaged this whole area down. Toy Market sits on about 6 acres or so. The fire must have touched at least half of that, and over 2,000 traders have been affected by this. The rebuilding starts maybe tomorrow, but who knows how long it will take before they can recover from some of those losses as well. And those are very real challenges today that traders here face, and that's what we are talking about. And we'll be getting some final thoughts from my panelists when we return. You're watching Daybreak. We'll be right back.